The next thing that we're going to look at is special forms, and special forms are going to be a lot easier than what we've done in the previous section, mostly because they're special. One of the first things that you need to be able to do in order to do special forms is you do want to be able to recognize your square and cube numbers. If you need to make a note of these on the side, you may want to do that. You also need to understand your rules for combining and multiplying sign numbers. The last thing that we're going to see in terms of special products is we're going to look at sum and difference of cubes. One of the important things to remember on this one is you can't use previous techniques. You do need to factor using the formula. Though you are not required to memorize the formulas, and though you will rarely see them, it is nice to have them handy, and I recommend that writing them down for every single problem that you work on. We do have two of them. We have our sum of cubes. We have our difference of cubes. When determining whether to use the sum of cubes or the difference of cubes, all you have to do is look at the middle sign for each one of the problems that we're going to look at. So let's start with example A. The first thing that I'm going to do is write down my formula. My formula for difference of cubes is a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. The other thing that I want to do is I want to be able to know what A and B are. Okay, now that we have the correct formula, we can go ahead and do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is come off to the side and figure out what is A and what is B. What cubed gives you x cubed? Well, hopefully you guys know that that's x. For b, what cubed is equal to 8? That's going to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. From here, now that we have our a and b, all we have to do is plug them into the formula and simplify. So for my first set, I'm going to get a, which is x, minus b, which is 2, times my second set, I get a squared, that's going to be x squared, plus a times b. If I multiply x and 2, I should get 2x plus b squared. 2 squared is 4. And you're done. Let's go ahead and look at example B. B, we have that this is a difference of cubes. So the first thing I'm going to do is write out my formula. My formula is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So let's go ahead and start by identifying what a and b are. What cubed is equal to 27? That's going to be 3. For b, what cubed equals y cubed? That's going to be y. So let's go ahead and plug this into our formula. For the first set, we want a minus b. That's going to be 3 minus y. For the second set, we want to go ahead and figure out what a cubed is equal to. Since a is 3, if I square it, I get 9. Plus, what is a times b, we should get 3y plus b squared y. B squared is equal to y squared. And we're done. Let's come over and look at example C. C may look a little bit different, but it's still going to be the same idea. The first thing I want is my formula. This is a sum of cubes. So this is going to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. We want to identify what a and b are equal to. So for each component, let's just figure it out. For 64, what cubed equals 64? If you were to say 8, that would not be correct. That would be 8 squared is equal to 64. But it's kind of close. 64 is actually equal to 4 cubed. We also want an x. For 125, what cubed is equal to 125? We get 5. Let's go ahead and plug these into our formula now. If we were to plug these into our formula, we get a plus b. This is going to be 4x plus 5. If we were to square a, we want to make sure that we square everything. So what is 4 squared? 16. And x squared is x squared. For the middle term, we want to multiply 4x times 5. When we do that, we should get minus 20x. And finally, for the last term, we want to square 5. 5 squared is equal to 25. And you're done. The last problem that I want to look at is example D. For example D, we have 343x cubed minus 64y cubed. For this, let's go ahead and again start with our formula. This is difference of cubes, so we have a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Let's go ahead and figure out what a and b are. 343, you may not know what this is. I will go ahead and let you know. This is 7. 7 cubed is equal to 343. X cubed, well, that's going to be x. B, what cubed equals 64? We get 4, and we want to put a y with it. So now if we go ahead and plug this into our formulas, we get a minus b is equal to 7x minus 4y. Again, for a squared, we do want to make sure that we square everything. So 7 squared is 49, and x squared is x squared. For the middle term, we want to multiply 7x and 4y, which will give us plus 7 times 4 is 28, x, y. And for the last term, we want to square all of b, so I should get 4 squared is plus 16, and y squared is y squared. This is the end of difference of cubes, sum of cubes. Most of the time, I will tell you that they will not give you such a nasty number like 343, but you should know at least up through 5, and you should at least know 10. For some reason, we skip 6 through 9 because those ones are not as common. But just note, if you're not sure, get your calculator out and figure out what all your sums, all your squares and your cubes are equal to.